Homer led the league in tackles with 85. The deep ball for Darius Prince, and Philadelphia's on the board first.
On the draw, this is Bryson Allen. And Allen weaving his way all the way down to the 22.
10-yard line, 5. Mayfield, Dancy, all around. Throwing as far as he can throw it. Jump ball coming. Crazy stuff. Not this time.
And you want to be a wide receiver. You're going to have to take a little bit of a hit like that as Brown got him in that shoulder, but watch. Those are teeth.
Do we have a dentist on staff here?
Shady Sports. Today I'm joined by a very special guest, Harrisburg Stampede owner Justin Coble. Boss, how we doing tonight?
I'm blessed, man. Blessed.
Glad to have you back on. I kind of want to dive right in. So, big elephant in the room. Your June 1st game, your next home game, was supposed to be against the Cedar Rapids River Kings. Obviously, Cedar Rapids elected to play their final 3 games against semi-pro teams. What was your reaction to that whole situation?
In agreement. There's like you said, it was what really proceeded before that, and we're going to talk about all this, but June 1st we're going to play the Delmarva team. I'm excited about that. It's the Delmarva Bay Riders, and we've played against them. They actually played the Stampede. This is, I think, our 3rd game against them in the history of the Stampede. And they played the Reading Express twice, so they're familiar with indoor ball. They are an arena team, so they're coached well. They're their owner, Steve Wooten, and they're gonna come. They're excited. They're excited to come up to us and play again. It's been 10 years since we played, and so we're looking forward to it. And no love lost with the Cedar Rapids. I want to really preface, that I have no issue with Cedar Rapids players, coaches, but yeah, Dom, I don't have any respect for the owner. I find him repulsive. So, but yeah, we're excited. We're gonna have a great crowd. The ticket sales have been great. My social media team did put a wrong graphic up. We're gonna change that in the next day or two. It'll be the Delmarva team, and but we're selling. We have Penn State, former alumni, Christian Hackenberg and Trace McSorley at the game. They'll be signing autographs. We have been selling tickets great. They're going to do a coin toss. They're going to be there for the fans for pictures and stuff. So it's going to be. We make our home games events, and they're family friendly, great for kids. And we have a lot of businesses. Our local chamber would visit Hershey Harrisburg is going to be out with a lot of companies. Their first time getting exposed to Stampede football.
So, I kind of wanted to ask you, what steps is the AIF taking in terms of vetting ownership better for 2025?
So again, do not work for the league. I am friends with the league owner, and he takes a lot of talking. He takes Casey and Richard in Columbus, Kevin Cecil in Corpus. He talks to all of us owners, very transparent, open door policy. So again, I'm not speaking for them. I'm speaking of knowledge that I have, and he's okay with that, and all that. But one thing that we've done is we're using an outside consulting firm to help us vet. Doesn't mean that is the final say or anything like that. Owners that are existing owners are talking to teams and talking and helping be as a sounding board, answering questions. The league is delving in. Brandon personally, I don't see it. Casey and Richard and Kevin, we don't see the financials of teams that are applying, but Brandon is vetting lines of credit. Do they have liquid assets? Do they have cash? And are they reasonable? The days of trying to run an arena team on a $100,000 shoestring budget are over. You have to run it correctly and professionally. Social media is so big. Streaming is so big. Players talking. Years ago when social media wasn't what it was 12, 15 years ago, owners would just hide, not say anything, and they would just run teams. They were allowed to run teams inappropriately, and those days are over. And it's in the Cedar Rapids case, and we'll talk about that. Videos and pictures and subpar things are not acceptable anymore. And players shouldn't. Let's just put it this way. I'm a pro player. The players shouldn't be accepting those conditions. And true owners shouldn't be putting their players in those predicaments. Players shouldn't have to decide, do I eat? Can I eat? Can I tell? The hiding and not having acceptable conditions is just unacceptable. And so Brandon is working hard, and we got a consulting firm that's doing vetting, application processes. They're vetting, and then financials he's vetting, and we're doing all this. And then it finally goes to, it's Brandon's call ultimately, I think, towards the end, but there is a vote taken by the executive board. Right now, the executive board is me, Casey, and Kevin Cecil. And, we want to expand. We want to expand. We want to grow. We had a rough first year, a lot of ups and downs. We took punches. But what league hasn't this year? Really, the only one, I guess, and IFL is not exempt, but everybody took punches this year.
With the executive board, does it require a unanimous vote to pass?
No, the majority of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we can vote 2-1. But right now, everything that's been presented to the board that's been discussed or talked about has been 100% unanimous, and not just unanimous on the current owners, including Brandon, the league owner, and John Morris, the commissioner. It's really not. Let me just put it this way. It's not hard for us to come to unanimous vote when we're just doing stuff the right way.
That's really amazing to hear that you take those steps and you work together. Kind of diving into the Cedar Rapids situation, as a member of the executive board, when did you notice the red flags start to pop up?
Well, I felt red flags from the beginning, all the way back into the Corpus days. So on a personal level, non-league, I never agreed with them having two teams. It's sort of like being married to two wives. You can't be faithful, and you can't build them right. I'm a business owner. I've owned businesses my whole entire life. I've done very well for myself. I'm self-made. I didn't get nothing given to me. And I feel like owning two teams, I couldn't do it. And I'm not saying that Dom couldn't do it. I just didn't agree with it. But it wasn't my call. And I was a new team. It's a new league being relaunched. It's a relaunch of a league. So but I made it clear. I said many times to Larry Clark and John Morris, I didn't agree with it. And then when it sort of came out and they shut down one, everybody knows they did. I don't know what went on. We all weren't there, but it went from the Iowa Rampage to Iowa Rage, same colors, all this, whatever. They went AFL. So I felt like that was a good thing for him to just be able to focus on one team. I didn't really like how it went down. There was things said in privately in closed door meetings. I didn't really feel like it was handled correctly. But besides that, moving forward, it's none of my business. He seemed to be doing everything right. He got a great coach. I respect Darren Clark, former player. I respect him and feel like he is. We're live, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I felt like, and yeah, hey, what's up, Josh? How you doing, bud? So when Cedar Rapids, we got into the season and everything, they came out here. One of my biggest strikes and is Cedar Rapids ownership, Dom, did not pay his hotel bill, the balance of his hotel bill. And he was made aware of this. And I have the text message where he said, I called and I paid. It's taken care of. A week later, I get a call that it's not been taken care of. So that's a lie. And I'm big on lying. To me, the league is owned by somebody, by Brandon, and I think Brandon's doing a great job taking it in a good direction and where he wants to go. But we are, as owners in this league, we own a piece of that pie. When you put all those those pieces of the pie, it's a big pie. There needs to be some honesty between us. We might not own each other's teams, but we need to run them professionally to a certain standard of profession. And we need to have honest communication. This year in the AIF was the best communication of owners I've ever seen. Now, I only have one other year to compare it to, but owners meetings on weekly or bi-weekly, whatever, good communication, good synergy. That needs to be had. Not the old way of let's hide, let's be sneaky. We don't need that. We need honesty and transparency. So I did not appreciate being lied to. He personally lied to me. I'm not going into league stuff. He personally. That was a big strike to me. He doesn't want to really discuss that, but men shouldn't lie if you have nothing. If you're not shady or you're not doing something behind the scenes, you don't have a reason why. He did. It was only a $286 bill, but it was not paid. Finally, when I brought the league in on it, we kept getting told and everything. And then finally, 3 weeks after they played here, that bill was paid. 3 weeks. It took bringing in other partners because he has other minority partners. It just was a bad situation. So we let that go. And then I'll be honest, on social media, the second strike to me is, and you know this, and it's not hidden. I actually am surprised in this cancel culture that it's not been a bigger issue for him, but calling people faggot and calling people, what was the other one? It was faggot and retard. Having family members that are in the homosexual community, I found that very offensive for an owner that is in my league to do that. Because the school that I was raised under, if he's doing that in private messages and on Facebook, which we have screenshots of it, what would he say in private? What would he say? That's a bigot. And there's no room. I don't want to be a part of a league that has bigots. We have police officers, we have insurance agents, we have sports marketing agents, we have apparel group owners, we have many different owners, different diverse backgrounds. I don't believe in doing that. That's inappropriate talk. I was surprised that people did not jump on that more, but to me personally, it turned me sour. I don't respect him for that. And then in his apologies, anytime he makes an apology, it's a backhanded apology. Well, and then he's, in meetings with owners, he doesn't care what I think of him. Well, that's fine. But, you should care about the other fellow partners. So long and short, it came down to just so much. I'm going into the league got many complaints from players about pay issues. They said they were satisfied with what he documents that he provided. But then let's go to the videos. The videos of those are subpar living conditions for any player playing professional football, indoor arena, whatever you want to call it. That's subpar. The fact that he says he rectified this and rectified it to Brandon, this is where I differ a little bit with Brandon. It should never have gotten to that. It should never have been posted publicly by players and had to be fixed. So you fix something that should have never had to been fixed anyways. It's irresponsible. You can't, how do you look grown men in the face and put them in housing like that? It's deplorable. Everything he's done, even when he wanted rooms, I gave him $20 per room so that he would stay at one of my sponsors' hotels because it wasn't cheap enough for him. I mean, that tells you. I made a mistake. I'll tell you one of my mistakes. I'm human. I make mistakes. I went to Columbus. Has nothing to do with the Columbus organization. They did not recommend this hotel. I want it to be known. But I stayed at a hotel, and I had to look my men in the next morning, and apologize and tell them, from Harrisburg, I promise you, we will never stay in this shithole again, this level of hotel. We thought it was a Wyndham. We thought it would be a good hotel. The rating was good. It was horrible. Horrible. I went all the way to the corporate level complaining about how bad it was. And I apologized to my men and told them, my coaches, but I was there. I stayed there with them, and I wanted to go to a Hilton, and but I can't do that. I got to be ethical, and so I didn't have a lot of respect for seeing this stuff come out. At one point, I don't know the exact timeline. I'm not going to get into dates, but it was questioned with all of these issues. Should we suspend him? Should he be put out of the league? It was brought to the executive board of the Lions, the Tritons, and myself. We were originally going to vote on it. Then Brandon came back. I guess he had an epiphany, which I agree with. It's not the coach's fault. It's not the players. Players shouldn't be punished. The coaches shouldn't be punished. I mean, the fact that players stayed, some people keep bringing up, why did the players stay if it was so bad? Well, at this level, you don't know what these guys are coming from, what homes they're coming from. And they come all the way out there on a promise and expectation, and then it's subpar. Just because you're trying to feed them, house them, and pay them, and it's tough. It's a tough battle out there to do all that. Doesn't mean that they just need to accept it. I feel like some owners prey on that, threatening them. You'll never play again, blacklist you, whatever it may be. But Brandon did not want to punish the players, so he suspended Dom for the remainder of the season, the owner. But with those conditions, there was a press release. The league knew that they really couldn't enforce it. I mean, he could do anything and show up anywhere, but whatever. But shortly thereafter, the league was approached and made an offer asking to be released, Cedar Rapids be released from their schedule, their home schedule, to play local teams. I think in their mind at that point that they could go pick up other games and stuff, and it would be easy. But Brandon granted their wish, and I think there was a buyer's remorse afterwards. I think Dom was very upset. So you started seeing after the league put out you can go look on the AIF website, clearly states that they asked for their release. Yeah, Josh, I'm going to talk about that. I really do. I want you to hear this part. So what ended up happening is they asked for the release, they got it, and I think he came back, and that's when he started blasting, saying it's money. It was not financial needs. I mean, let's be honest, he lost 3 teams: Columbus first, us, and then Corpus. Nobody's scared. Corpus and myself, our teams already beat them. Competitive games, good games, but we beat them. We're not scared to play them, but they did ask for their release. They decided to go play semi-pro teams. I think that he thought most people would not notice or care. So once that was done, now he's out there just blasting, it's lies. He's once a liar, always a liar. He's always tried to twist everything, but the league is in great condition right now. We're excited. For the AIF moving forward, I want to talk about Josh's question there. I mean, we're talking about the vetting. I think they're solid teams. Columbus, Corpus, they're going to play for the championship. They're going to be a great game. I'm excited to go down there and see them. The Venom just got their first win. They beat Corpus and everything. So there's 4 solid teams. I think that the league's trying to get to 8 to 10. I think the business model of AIF football works. It works. Yes, the IFL has the same salary cap as us, but maybe they pay people and sponsor and under the table. But think about this. The IFL is very expensive buy-in, very expensive overall. The business model of the AIF allows the owner to have a target to make money, break even, and if you hold the team long enough to make money. We are in talks with some other leagues, mergers, or some single teams, bringing teams in. I think the rivalries are there. I think there's some great teams. I mean, the NAL has their 5 teams. We got our 4 or 5 if you count Cedars. But let's be honest. I'm not going to speak really on the AFL. AFL sort of happened what we thought was going to happen. There's good teams that stayed on, and a lot of teams that didn't. And we knew that Hutton and we knew that the commissioner was full of shit. But at the end of the day, I do think I think the AIF can be into a 12 to 16 team league within 3 years. Great dynamics. They allow the owners to own, and they allow the teams to be ran independently, and we all play on the same rules. It's going to help. We've made 3 or 4 changes this past year to schedules. I would love it. I would love the Harrisburg Wheeling. I'm hoping that Wheeling will come in. It's a great business model. Josh is a great coach. that team's playing well. I mean, they're playing really well. That's what we want. Columbus, I mean, we got a storied franchise. I think that Columbus is like the old man on the hill for us, the wise man on the hill. 17, 18 years they've been around. That's what teams striving, they have a clearly defined owner, front office, coaching staff, players, game day squad. They have all of these, and that's what you have to have. These days of just one owner and the coach and the GM and the director of football ops and game day operator, like everything, let everybody have their role, be a team outside of football and be a team on the football field. Great rivalry. If we could bring in a team in the Ohio Valley and bring in a team in Jersey or Richmond or Fayetteville, Charlotte area, Concord, there's good. I mean, and you're talking down in Florence. You got Columbus down there. They could, there's the market in the Jacksonville, Orlando market. We're looking heavily at a Fort Worth, Dallas team to bring a team in there, expand. I do. I think it's going to be, I think next year with Brandon having the team the whole off season to really vet, no disrespect to any previous owners, but there was no vetting. People got to the right before the season and didn't have an arena. Mississippi had no walls and a shitty field that wasn't even full. That should have never happened. Should have never happened. If you do the due diligence on the front end, then vet them, then you get to the season, everybody can play football. Win, loss, it doesn't matter. Everybody goes and plays their whole schedule. And, right now, the team to beat, the man on the hill, is the Columbus Lions. They're athletic. They're coached by a very, very smart, one of the best DBs in indoor football history. I think he's got some of the career tied for the most interceptions. They're athletic. They're big. They're strong. They're fast. They kicked our ass down in Columbus. We came back with our healthy team, and we definitely made it competitive. That energy and that game against the Lions was the best energy, some of the best indoor football energy I've ever seen in 30-plus games coaching and owning. And so I think that the budget works. I think we can take a couple strong teams and make this into an 8-12 team league, and it be fly off the rivalries like Josh talking about. West Virginia, Wheeling, it's helping on the budgets. It's helping get the rivalry. Fans, we had fans traveling with us. Our fans have been phenomenal this year, getting back on board. Sponsors are already signing up for next year. They want to see the growth. They want to see us add more teams. They get it. And this is I try to tell everybody, people are like, man, AIF this and talk negative. That's our year one to relaunch. That's our year one. All those other leagues we're competing against, well, outside the AFL relaunch, is completely the opposite. NAL's been around. IFL, we're competing against them. I think that you would have a lot of fans come up. But yeah, so what other questions you got for me, man? I mean, I'm excited about next year. I'm excited about now. Did you see that league sponsor that just came on for the championship game?
That's a huge sponsor, for the championship game. Do you anticipate there being a halftime performance for that too?
I don't know. I don't handle that. That's outside of mine. From my business standpoint, I'm hoping that I get to get out there and maybe sponsor a little bit the championship game with the Lions and Tritons. And I'm going to be honest, if I'm not in the championship game, I'm happy it's them too. The Lions deserve it. They're the best team in our league. They're a first-class organization from ownership, front office staff, all the way to their coach. I have a lot of respect for him. My coach loves him. Bernie loves him, Coach B. And then Corpus. When we went out to the meetings, the league owners meetings in Corpus, they were first class. I just landed, got to the hotel, and I Uber over to where they're at. They'd all been drinking and doing anything. And the owners of the the Corpus Tritons comes over and he gives me a branded cigar. And he's like, here, man, smoke one with us. And that's the first time I met them. They were first class from top to bottom. We went to dinner. They took us to a great seafood restaurant. And, I'm a fat boy. So, you get food in front of me, I'm going to be a bit big. I am losing weight, though. Can you tell? I'm actually down about 30 pounds. But, no, I really, really great organization. We had great meetings. And they're their first year. I mean, let me just say this. If people want to do an arena team, this is what you got to do. You got to get good coaches. Okay. You got to get experienced coaches. Let's go with like Josh is on here. Josh is, arena guy. Been in arena for many years, 20 years, 15 years. My coach, Coach B, Coach Rick. I mean, these are, guys that got NFL experience and arena, won championships. You got the Columbus Lions coach. I mean, he's a player that's been playing for years. My coach thinks he owns the indoor interception record. I don't know. But he says that he's missing from the rafters in Columbus. Coach Chavez, he played arena ball, AFL. I think it was AFL. But he's been in college, coaching high school. So you got coaches that know how to coach and know how to coach men. That's big. And if you look at the similarities from all these different organizations, the Lions, the Tritons, us, and all this, you're going to see they have general managers. Lee Snow down in Columbus. I forget his name now, down in Corpus. But they have general managers, and they got good owners. It's clearly defined. You don't have owners trying to coach football. The one cool thing, and I struggle with this, I don't ever tell my coaches what to call plays or bother them in the games. But when I was down in Columbus, Richards and Casey are like, have a buffet, have a drink. And I'm stressed we're getting our asses handed to us. I just couldn't stand by them. Like, they're just cool, calm, and collect. They're owners, But if you go down there, all these owners are really strong guys, good business. And if they understand it takes an army, not just your players. It takes an army to run a good program. And if you go down there and just look at the streams, go down and look at the game day staff. They have staff. I'm down on the field before the game when we got down there, and one of the guys from Columbus wants to do a ball swap, So that's the model that needs to be done. And I think it's going to be great. I don't know, Josh, where the owner meetings are going to be. That would be all through Brandon. But I can tell you that was the best owners meeting I'd ever been to of any organization. So, but I'm excited. I'm going to be going down to the championship game. I'm going to stay not partial. Not biased. You got the Lions and the Tritons. I want a good game. But the veteran owned company, Hard Seltzer. I think it's Hard AF Seltzer. They stepped up and they're going to have alcohol in the locker rooms. They did a great sponsorship, and I like the Lions facility. I ain't gonna lie. They got a lot of cool things there. So I hope we have a great crowd there. I hope a lot of the other owners and coaches are going to come. I think we're bringing in some people that are being vetted, some people that want to. I'm working. I can say this. It might go through. It might not. But I've been in talks with my other business, Dazzle Sports. I've done some work with Barstool Sports, really trying to get them on board. Barstool Sports would be a huge addition for a league sponsor and working with us. That would put us on the map. Those guys love sports. They love they love their drinking. So that's on board right now. We already had talks, and I'm allowed to share that. That's not hidden knowledge, but if I can get them on board as a title sponsor, league sponsor, they would infuse some money into the league. And that's the big thing. Is I think Brandon's approach with AIF is going to be completely different than a lot of these other leagues. He's not trying to grow the league and take more money. He understands you can't take 6 figures from owners and then think they're going to be able to be successful in the field and in the business. It's about helping relationships, getting the partnerships, buying power. All of us going in, if we're buying certain things or needing to buy things, using the buyer power of a league. It'd be great for us to get a league deal for apparel, for shoes, for jerseys, hats, whatever it may be, and use that. But it's got to be the right move for each team and for the league. And I think Brandon gets that.
You kind of touched on it, but in 2025, when you look at the AIF, there's people out there that says, there are too many leagues. What can the AIF do to kind of pass its competition in terms of the NA on the IF?
Well, let's just first thing. Would you say that there's probably 20, 30 leagues nationally? all levels, developmental, professional, regional, national, doesn't matter. For the AIF to be back in relaunch year one, and we are in the talks all the time. Every time they post it, our teams or schedules or whatever, we're number 4. IFL, then AFL, NAL, and AIF. So that's already meaning out of all these teams out there, we're in the top 4 on year one. So we're already made a splash. We've already hit success. Yes, has it been bumpy? Have there been changes that we've had to adapt to? Absolutely. But moving forward, we're going to make some big splashes. You watch. We're not worried about our competition. We're not worried about it. They're not competition to us. If the IFL, their model works for them. Their teams. We're not trying to be them. We're trying to be the AIF, the best league we can be. So no, you don't when you're a Lion, you're a Tiger, you're at the top of the chain, you don't worry about what other people are doing. You're focused on your business. We will make business decisions and business changes and be better with more teams in 2025. And we've cut dead weight. We got rid of the Albany. We got rid of Mississippi. I mean, good Lord. Cedar Rapids was suspended owner. I mean, has that ever even happened in the league, indoor football? And then they chose to play semi-pro. Where they land is where they land. But we are going to move forward. We're going to do our thing. We're going to be great. And we're going to move forward.
No doubt. I appreciate your time tonight. Coming up on my final question for you. When you look at the summer for the Harrisburg Stampede, starting June 15th, the day after the championship game, what's your number one focus for the organization?
Well, we're going to – so we have offices. We actually have 3 offices and a conference room in our building that we rent. That's where I will probably be paying Coach B, director of our football operations, to be up there. He's going to be working on a few things. And then we move our facility. We move all of our equipment and everything into a facility. That's my GM right there. We move that in June 4th. But June 15th, we'll take a week off. Everybody will go on vacation and relax. And then we're going to have meetings after that. And poor. I'm all for that. But who's the league footing the bill for that? We literally will get back to work. We've already resigned 3 or 4 sponsors for next year. 3 of our bigger sponsors this year are willing to come forward with more money. They've seen it now. They've seen the vision. They've seen the energy. Like I said, that Lions game was some of the best energy I've had. Our attendance was only 1,761, but we only seat 2,400. And the energy that was there, nobody left early, and it was great. They want that. They want that replicated every game. And and I've explained to them that we're going to grow. We're going to vet teams. So we'll get right to work. We're going to get some more sponsors. 2 things that I did not see coming into this year based upon 10, 12 years ago, what I thought I would be able to trade out housing. I thought I'd be able to trade out buses. I failed at that. I will get to work on that. I probably won't be able to trade them out now that I see that those companies are not willing. There will be changes in Cedar Rapids. Anthony Bartlett, that's the minority owner. He got sort of shut out by the majority owner, which, again, that's just what I was talking about. Like the unprofessionalism from the top. When you lead from the front, and that's what owners need to do, is be strong and lead from the front. And then you're not communicating with your minority owners. You're arguing there. I mean, Anthony Bartlett was the defensive coordinator. He was fired from coaching. Then you got players calling. It was a lot. But I'm not here. I'm not going to speak on that anymore. My bigger concern is just the Stampede moving forward. Now I know what the budget is going to be on the buses. I know what the budget is going to be with some of the housing. We can build that in. We can save cost. I'm looking for a new wall system that I'd like to buy this year. One that I don't really like the metal ice hockey one. Just to talk about how insane our season, how some real hitting's been going on. We've broke 3 boards. 3 full hockey boards, like I have to literally pay to get them repaired. And 2 of them were in the Lions game. 1 was in the New Jersey Bearcats. They came ready to play too. So we're excited. I mean, there's a lot to look forward to. Amarillo Venom will be back. I mean, you're looking at they did really well. They didn't get the results they wanted on the field, but we can add strategic teams, add it in, and grow it. And like I said, the budget allows the AIF allows teams to own it, allows them to run it. We all play in the same rule book, and the operations manual. It's going to grow. We're year one, man, on a relaunch. Check back in 5 years and see where we're at, and there are a lot of teams, a lot of leagues, but you can't control that. You can't, it doesn't matter. Like, you got to find the guys that you agree with, and that's why I think the ownership and the owners agreeing and working together is a big deal.
I'm really excited for the future of the AIF with new leadership and new energy. I wanted to ask you about the players in the league, because there's a lot of talent. There's Todd Simmons, wide receiver from your team, and D'Amico Ewing, special teams player of the year from the Lions. When you look at those two players leaving to the IFL, do you think the league will ever get to a point, even next year, where those players will just stay and don't even have to leave?
Yes, I mean, it's all about optics. It's all about perception. The guys that go to IFL feel like they're getting looks more by the NFL. So I can understand that agents are going to tell them that. Moms and dads, people give opinions. Do I think that we can get the league there? Absolutely. But I'm all about, and I know that the other owners are too, and coaches. We want our players to move up. We want them to get successful. So I don't look at it ever as an addition, a subtraction. In all honesty, I feel like, and this is just me being, if you look at some of the players on Corpus, they got some athletes. If you watch the film, they got big boys. They're athletic. Obviously, the Lions, he got moved up there, kick return receiver. We got Todd Simmons. I think there's a couple others on the Lions that could easily go play somewhere else. I think ours. I got, in my opinion, one of the better DNs. Devin Thomas. He's a great kid. We got some of our players from grid camps. That's UFL. When the UFL was around, that was the UFL's feeder system. They would do the grid camps and move those guys up. We had Norm Chow at one of the workouts. So I don't think that we have to always feel like, or the players need to feel like they're moving up, but that's going to be that until we have the stability and the league growth that we need. They're going to do that. But what's a big compliment, and this is across all the board. First thing, that they are coming into the AIF and taking players out of it, because clearly that means they're watching the film, they're seeing it, and the connections are working. We have a coach, my coach B, who's got connections in the IFL, and he's called and gotten a couple players to there. We just had another kid leave and go up for another league. We lost, I think, 3 or 4 guys, including Todd Simmons. Todd Simmons did the workout for the CFL in our helmet, at our place. They came down here to PA. So no, I don't think that we always need to be there. But if a player wants to go up and is going to either make more money or thinks he's going to get a better look, I'm all about it. Like I said, it's not just, it's about, like we were talking about housing. These are grown men, man. Don't put them in some trashy dump. If they're our product, okay, we're a business. If you are a pizza shop, your product is pizza. It needs to be the best pizza. If our product that we're selling is football and it's players and it's player driven, put them in correct housing, take care of them, pay them. Don't make it shady. Don't try to skirt taxes. Pay on a payroll system. Make sure you're W-2ing them correctly so they got workers' comp if they get hurt. Don't 1099 them and act like you got workers' comp when you don't, because at 1099 they're a contractor. They're not an employee. They're not going to get a workers' comp approved. So treat them correctly. Treat them like it was your son, and like treat them how you would want your son to be treated by another coach or a team. And let's be honest, if you treat them right, they come back. And the classic example is, look at the team like the Lions. They've had players there for many years. Look at us. Todd Simmons. Thank you, Ryan. Yep. Shout out to the Modern Gent Hat Company. But like Todd Simmons keeps telling my coaches, "Oh, I'm going to Sugar Skulls." Nope, I'm not going to go. Oh, I'm going to go to this team. He wants to be active. He wants to play. He wants to film. And he loves playing here. We love having. That guy he's NFL talent. I can't believe that the agencies and now haven't got a hold of him. But someday we're going to watch Todd Simmons on Sundays, and we're going to be like, that guy was here catching touchdowns for us. So at the end of the day, that's the compliment. I can't be selfish on my own needs and be like, I want to keep everybody. This is not their final resting place. If we're doing it right and we got a pipeline here, then we should be pushing them on.
Boss, appreciate your time tonight. My final question for you is, do you have any last messages or words for Harrisburg Stampede Nation?
Yeah, man, come on out. June 1st, we're going to have a great night playing Delmarva. And June 14th, man, if you want to see some good football and support, you still support the Stampede by supporting the league. You support the Stampede by supporting the other teams. We're all in this fight together. June 14th is our AIF American Bowl, featured the Corpus Christi Tritons against the Columbus Lions. It's going to be a great game. So travel, it's worth coming to. And June 1st, come out, get an autograph ticket. Trace McSorley and Christian Ackenberg, Penn State alumni. And we're looking forward to it. And this isn't it. 2025 is going to be an amazing year, an amazing seasons of growth from team and league. So looking forward to it. And I always appreciate Shady Sports. I appreciate you, Chris, and all your coverage. And anything in the offseason, we'll find some things to get us on in the offseason too. We're not going dormant.
Appreciate your time.
I'm a game changer.